Mr. Henry, 68, is very particular about his diet. He avoids red meat, limits fried foods, and regularly chooses fish, believing it to be golden food for the heart. Every week, he consistently grills swordfish, tasty and believed to be healthy. But over time, his memory began to decline. Sleepless nights became more frequent, and fatigue became a constant feeling. He thought these were just normal signs of aging until a blood test revealed an abnormally high level of mercury in his body. The main cause turned out to be his seemingly harmless habit of eating swordfish. Mr. Henry's story is not unique. Thousands of older adults are silently facing similar effects without even knowing it. We often hear that fish is good for your health, and that's true, but only for the right kinds of fish. The truth is, not all fish are healthy, and after the age of 60, making the wrong choice can lead to consequences far greater than many realize. Some types of fish truly are superfoods rich in omega-3s, clean, easy to digest, capable of nourishing the brain, reducing inflammation, supporting heart health, and keeping bones and joints strong. But there are also fish that may seem harmless, but actually contain high levels of mercury, antibiotic residues, and inflammatory compounds. Consuming them long-term can quietly impair memory, affect mood, disrupt sleep, and even impact balance. You might be eating a type of fish thinking it's good for you, while in reality, it's silently damaging your cognition and overall health. That's why in today's journey, I'm going to share with you 4 types of fish that people over 60 should eat regularly to protect the brain, heart, and bones, along with 4 types of fish that should be completely avoided, especially if you're eating them under the impression that they're beneficial. This isn't a call to give up fish. On the contrary, it's an invitation to choose fish more wisely. Because in the end, your health doesn't come down to luck. It's shaped by the small choices you make every day, starting with what you put on your plate. If this information is helpful to you, please hit the subscribe button to join us. This channel was created specifically for you, those entering the golden years of life who want to live longer, healthier, and stay mentally sharp every day. Now let's begin the journey of discovering which types of fish to choose and which to avoid, so that every meal isn't just delicious, but also an investment in a healthier future for yourself. When we are young, our bodies function like a finely tuned machine with an incredible ability to self-clean and detoxify. But after age 60, everything begins to slow down. The liver and kidneys no longer work as efficiently as they once did, and the brain's protective barrier also weakens. This means that toxins that used to be easily flushed out can now quietly accumulate in the body. And one of the most concerning culprits is mercury. Not the mercury in thermometers or on some distant planet, but the mercury on your dinner plate. Mercury is found in many types of fish, especially large, long-living species high up on the marine food chain. Every time you eat them, you could be introducing a small amount of this heavy metal into your body, a little each week, a little each month, and after many years, it's no longer just a little. Mercury is a neurotoxin. It attacks the central nervous system, affecting memory, concentration, and emotions. People with mercury poisoning may experience confusion, forgetfulness, unexplained anxiety, even depression or hand tremors. The problem is, these symptoms often mimic normal aging, so they tend to go unnoticed or misdiagnosed. Even doctors sometimes don't consider mercury as the root cause. In one conversation, I met a kind couple in their 70s. The husband had started complaining about forgetfulness, sleeplessness, and feeling lost in his own familiar home. They thought it was just aging, something inevitable. But when he had a blood test, his mercury levels were well above the normal range. After reviewing his diet, they realized he had been eating swordfish every week for many years. What they thought was a healthy habit turned out to be the source of his unexplained decline. Fortunately, after making changes and switching to safer fish with lower mercury content, his health noticeably improved within just a few months? The lesson here is clear. When you're young, the body can handle and recover quickly. But after 60, what you eat isn't just about nutrition, it becomes a matter of survival. Choose wisely, and you'll protect your memory, keep your mind sharp, and prevent early aging. Choose poorly, and you may be unknowingly eroding your ability to live healthfully. But don't worry, not all fish contain mercury. There are types of fish that are both safe and nutritious, and some even help naturally detoxify the body and restore brain function. And right now, I'm going to introduce you to 4 such kinds of fish. Smart, delicious choices that offer tremendous benefits for older adults. Not all types of fish are a threat. On the contrary, there are some that are not only safe, but also nutritional gold for aging adults. They contain essential nutrients that help protect the brain, strengthen the heart, support joints and bones, and most importantly, keep your mind clear and your mood more balanced each day. Below are 4 types of fish you should regularly include in your diet at least a few times a week. First, herring. In the world of seafood, herring is often overlooked due to its plain appearance, lack of visual appeal, and limited presence in traditional meals. But for older adults, herring is one of the quiet yet powerful allies. This small fish is rich in natural omega-3s, an essential nutrient that helps calm inflammation in the body, especially important since chronic inflammation is at the root of many age-related diseases, such as heart disease, arthritis, and even Alzheimer's. Herring is also a great source of vitamin D, which is crucial for maintaining bone density and preventing osteoporosis in seniors. What's more, herring's bones are tiny, soft, and edible, meaning you're not just getting protein, you're also getting a natural boost of calcium with every bite. For those with dental issues or digestive concerns, herring is also very easy to prepare, chew, and digest. Herring can be grilled, steamed, or even eaten pickled in traditional styles if prepared properly and hygienically. Whichever method you choose, remember that every time you eat herring, you're giving your brain an extra layer of protection and giving your body a chance to rejuvenate from the inside out. Second, wild salmon. If there's one type of fish that truly deserves the title superfood for aging, it's wild salmon. Not the farm-raised kind commonly found in supermarkets with pale orange flesh and loaded with antibiotics, but wild-caught salmon from cold, pristine waters like those of Alaska, where they grow in an unpolluted, natural environment. Wild salmon is packed with high levels of DHA and EPA, 2 forms of omega-3 fatty acids that are especially vital for older adults. These nutrients act as natural lubricants for joints, protective shields for nerve cells, and powerful allies in slowing cognitive decline, improving mood, and reducing chronic inflammation. But that's not all. Wild salmon is also a source of clean, easily digestible protein that helps maintain muscle mass, which the body naturally begins to lose with age. In addition, it contains astaxanthin, a potent natural antioxidant that helps protect the eyes and skin from premature aging. This compound is also what gives wild salmon its vibrant pink-orange hue, no artificial coloring needed. Cooking wild salmon is simple. With just a bit of olive oil, a few lemon slices, and some garlic cloves, you can prepare a meal that is both delicious and deeply nourishing. Eating wild salmon 2 to 3 times a week can make a noticeable difference: clearer thinking, better mood, and a more resilient body. Wild salmon isn't just food, it's an investment in your healthier future. 3. Sardines. Sardines are often among the most underestimated types of fish in the seafood world. They're small, commonly canned, and inexpensive, leading many people to believe they can't possibly compare to premium fish like salmon or tuna. But the truth is quite the opposite. Sardines may be small in size, but they are a nutritional powerhouse, especially well-suited for older adults. To begin with, sardines are extremely rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which help reduce inflammation, improve cardiovascular function, and enhance memory. But that's just the beginning. These little fish are also superfoods packed with vitamin B12, calcium, vitamin D, and easily absorbable protein. One standout feature of sardines is that they have short lifespans and sit low on the food chain, meaning they accumulate far less mercury and other heavy metals compared to larger fish. This makes sardines one of the safest fish you can eat regularly without concerns about toxins. A single can of sardines packed in olive oil can provide over 100% of your daily vitamin B12 needs, a critical nutrient for the nervous system, blood health, and cognitive function. For older adults especially, B12 deficiency can lead to fatigue, forgetfulness, or even mild depression, and sardines offer a simple, natural, and effective way to replenish it. Sardines are also incredibly convenient. You can eat them straight from the can, mix them into a salad, serve with whole grain bread, or mash them with a bit of lemon juice and shallots for a tasty snack. Whether as a main course or a light meal, sardines are an affordable, easy to use, and nutrient-dense choice that few other fish can match. If you're looking for a type of fish that's nutritious, budget-friendly, and easy to prepare for a simple meal, sardines are the perfect candidate. Fourth, rainbow trout. Not everyone enjoys the strong, oily flavor of certain saltwater fish, and not every digestive system can easily handle rich, heavy meals. For older adults with sensitive palates, digestive issues, weak teeth, or difficulty chewing, rainbow trout is a safe and soothing choice. Rainbow trout is often raised in clean freshwater environments, especially in mountain regions with sustainable ecosystems. As a result, it contains very low, nearly negligible, levels of mercury. Its flesh is light pink with a soft texture that's easy to chew and digest, and it lacks the strong, fishy odor found in many other fish, making it a gentle fish for seniors. Nutritionally, rainbow trout is still impressive. It provides DHA, a key form of omega-3 that helps protect nerve cells and maintain memory. It's also rich in selenium, a mineral that acts as a shield against free radicals that cause cellular aging. The lean protein found in rainbow trout is highly absorbable, helping support muscle strength and overall health without being heavy on the stomach. Rainbow trout is also very versatile in the kitchen. You can steam it lightly with a few slices of fresh ginger for a refreshing dish, or pan-sear it with vegetables and a splash of low-sodium soy sauce for a well-balanced, flavorful meal. Served with soft rice or porridge, rainbow trout makes for a light yet nutrient-dense dinner, perfect for easy digestion and a good night's sleep. It may not be as bold as wild salmon, as powerful as herring, or as convenient as canned sardines, but rainbow trout offers a gentle, balanced option for those who want to care for their health while keeping their meals simple, easy to enjoy, and easy to live with. With the 4 types of fish mentioned above, herring, wild salmon, sardines, and rainbow trout, you can easily build a nutrient-rich diet perfectly suited for older adults without worrying about toxins or adverse effects. These are truly long-term, trustworthy choices, not just for their nutritional value, but also for their safety, convenience, and ease of preparation. Next, we'll explore why these fish are so powerful. The answer lies in the delicate balance between omega-3 and omega-6, a key factor in preventing aging and protecting the heart, brain, and joints. You already know that omega-3 is great for memory, heart health, and overall well-being, but you may not have heard that omega-6 is also important. Yet when out of balance, it can become a silent enemy that triggers inflammation, accelerates aging, and contributes to disease. Omega-3 and omega-6 are both essential fatty acids, meaning your body cannot produce them on its own. so they must be obtained through food. In a healthy body, these two fats need to exist in a balanced ratio, like two sides of a scale. When they are in harmony, the body stays in an anti-inflammatory state, protects its cells, and supports nervous system function. However, in today's world, especially with modern diets high in vegetable oils, processed foods, fried dishes, and farmed fish, omega-6 levels are often 10 to 20 times higher than omega-3. This is extremely dangerous. When omega-6 is too high and omega-3 is lacking, the body falls into a chronic state of low-grade inflammation, which promotes the development of long-term conditions like heart disease, diabetes, arthritis, and even Alzheimer's. This is where fish play a critical role. But not all fish are helpful. Some farm fish, such as tilapia or industrially raised salmon, are fed corn and soy-based feed, which causes their omega-6 levels to soar far above omega-3. As a result, instead of reducing inflammation, they actually worsen it, which is especially harmful for older adults. In contrast, wild fish like Alaskan salmon, herring, sardines, and rainbow trout have high levels of omega-3 and maintain nearly ideal ratios that help the body heal, reduce inflammation, and slow down the aging process. When you eat these types of fish regularly, you're not only fueling your body with valuable nutrients, but also helping it restore balance from the inside out. A study published on Science Daily even revealed that farmed tilapia contains higher levels of pro-inflammatory fats than fried bacon. That means many people think they're eating healthy by choosing fish, when in fact they may be fueling the fire of inflammation in their body every day without realizing it. So the key is not just to eat fish, but to eat the right kind of fish. Prioritize varieties that are rich in omega-3, low in omega-6, and come from clean, natural, and trustworthy sources. This is more than just a nutrition tip. It's a smart, sustainable disease prevention strategy for healthy aging. Now let's move on to a crucial section: 4 types of fish to avoid completely after age 60. These might look familiar and may even be sitting in your fridge right now, but they pose serious risks to your memory, heart, and nervous system. First, farmed tilapia. Tilapia is one of the most widely consumed fish in the world, especially in developing countries. The reason is simple. It's affordable, has white meat with a mild flavor, and is easy to cook. But the truth behind those trays of tilapia in the supermarket is not so easy to digest. Most tilapia today comes from large-scale industrial farms, where the fish are raised in cramped tanks with poorly treated wastewater, and their feed consists mainly of corn, soy meal, and even industrial waste byproducts. The result is fish meat with omega-6 levels many times higher than omega-3. This is a seriously imbalanced ratio for older adults. Omega-6 is not inherently bad, but when it exceeds necessary levels, it can trigger widespread inflammation, contributing to heart disease, arthritis, high blood pressure, and especially worsening neurodegenerative conditions like Alzheimer's. For seniors who are already at high risk for cognitive decline and memory issues, this is a silent yet serious threat. One study found that the levels of inflammatory fats in farmed tilapia were even higher than in bacon or deep-fried pastries, which are already considered unhealthy. And yet, many of us are putting this fish on our plates every week, believing that eating fish is healthy. If you truly want to take care of your heart and brain, cross-farmed tilapia off your regular menu, or at the very least, only buy tilapia that is certified as responsibly farmed from tightly regulated sources. Even better, choose safer options like rainbow trout or sardines. Second, farmed Atlantic salmon. When people hear the word salmon, they often think of a premium omega-3 rich food that's good for health. But the truth is, not all salmon is created equal. There is a major difference between wild-caught salmon and farmed Atlantic salmon, and unfortunately, the farm version dominates the market today. Farmed Atlantic salmon is usually labeled simply as Atlantic salmon. these fish are raised in massive sea cages where they are packed in high densities, making them prone to disease. As a result, they are routinely treated with antibiotics and antiparasitic drugs. To make the flesh appear as appealingly pink as wild salmon, some producers even add artificial coloring to their feed. Nutritionally, farm salmon contains much higher levels of omega-6 than omega-3 due to a grain-based diet rather than a natural marine-based one, like that of wild salmon. This imbalance significantly reduces the fish's anti-inflammatory benefits, and when eaten regularly, may even promote chronic inflammation, a dangerous scenario for older adults managing blood pressure, cardiovascular issues, or cognitive decline. In addition, due to overcrowded and disease-prone farming conditions, farm salmon often contains residues of antibiotics, antiparasitic chemicals, and even harmful bacteria. Long-term consumption may negatively affect the digestive system, liver, kidneys, and immune function. Instead of choosing this seemingly premium but risky fish, opt for wild salmon from Alaska or other cold water regions that carry sustainable fishing certifications. While it may cost a little more, what you get in return is safety, quality, and true nutritional value, especially important for healthy aging. 3. King mackerel. Mackerel is a familiar name in many Vietnamese households, and quite a few older adults regularly consume this fish for its rich flavor, firm texture, and ease of preparation. However, what most people don't realize is that not all mackerel are the same. Among the mackerel family, king mackerel has the highest mercury levels and should be strictly avoided after the age of 60. King mackerel has a long lifespan and sits high on the marine food chain. It feeds on many smaller fish, and over time, mercury accumulates in its body. When humans eat fish with high mercury content, especially on a regular basis, the mercury gradually builds up in fatty tissues and directly affects the nervous system, cognitive function, balance, and mood. Symptoms of mercury toxicity can start subtly: forgetfulness, mild hand tremors, insomnia, mild depression, and difficulty concentrating. These signs are easily mistaken for normal aging, which often leads both older adults and even doctors to overlook mercury as the root cause. Another issue is that mackerel sold at markets or supermarkets often lacks specific labeling, simply marked as mackerel, which leads to confusion. In contrast, Spanish mackerel or Atlantic mackerel have much lower mercury levels and are considerably safer, but they are often mislabeled or mistaken for king mackerel. Therefore, if you enjoy eating mackerel, be especially cautious. Always ask about the origin or choose packaged products with clear labeling. But ideally, after the age of 60, it is best to minimize or avoid king mackerel altogether and instead prioritize smaller fish with lower mercury content, such as sardines, herring, or rainbow trout. 4. Swordfish. With its striking appearance and thick pinkish-white flesh, swordfish is often considered a premium dish in many seafood restaurants. Many older adults favor swordfish for its firm texture, minimal bones, ease of grilling or pan-searing, and relatively mild odor. However, behind its appeal lies a troubling truth. Swordfish is one of the highest mercury fish found in nature. The reason lies in its biology. Swordfish are large, long-living predators that rank high on the marine food chain. They feed on smaller fish that already contain traces of mercury. So when you eat swordfish, you are essentially consuming a concentrated dose of mercury from an entire food web condensed into one fillet. In healthy younger adults, eating swordfish occasionally may not cause immediate effects. But for people over 60 whose liver, kidneys, and central nervous systems have naturally weakened with age, mercury accumulation can have serious consequences. You may begin to notice subtle hand tremors, forgetfulness, disrupted sleep, emotional instability, or a sense of mental fog, all without realizing why. I once met a man in his 70s who grilled swordfish weekly as a way to treat himself. After a few years, he began to suffer from insomnia, poor memory, and occasional hand tremors. His family assumed it was just aging until a blood test revealed unusually high mercury levels. After eliminating swordfish and switching to wild salmon and sardines, his health noticeably improved within a few months. That story is not unique. The most dangerous thing about mercury is its slow, silent accumulation and how easily its symptoms are mistaken for normal aging. So if you have ever enjoyed swordfish or are still eating it, thinking it is as good as salmon, now is the time to stop and make a smarter choice. To conclude this section, one thing is clear. Not all types of fish are safe choices for older adults. Farmed tilapia, farmed Atlantic salmon, king mackerel, and swordfish may be familiar and easy to find, but they are potential nutritional traps if not properly understood. Up next, we'll explore how to identify safe fish at the seafood counter so you can avoid risks and shop with greater confidence and clarity every day. When standing at the seafood counter, many older adults feel overwhelmed by trays of fresh, neatly displayed fish. Everything looks the same: pink flesh, shiny skin, proper labeling. But behind that attractive appearance may lie a very different story about the fish's origin, farming methods, safety, and nutritional value. Unfortunately, most of these critical details are not visible to the naked eye. One of the first warning signs to look for is a label that says Atlantic salmon without any mention of wild or Alaskan. In most cases, this refers to farmed salmon, which is at high risk of containing inflammatory fats, antibiotic residues, and significantly more omega-6 than omega-3. Although the name may sound premium, it actually carries serious health concerns, especially for seniors. Another important factor to watch is the origin of the fish. Products that do not clearly state where they are from or are vaguely labeled as product of multiple countries are less likely to meet rigorous safety standards. On the other hand, fish from the United States, Canada, Japan, or European countries are usually caught and processed under stricter food safety regulations. You can have more confidence in their cleanliness and quality. Also, be cautious if the label says color added or previously frozen. Some fish, especially farmed salmon, are artificially colored to appear fresher and resemble wild-caught fish. However, this visual appeal does not reflect real nutritional value. Fish that has been frozen and thawed multiple times may have lost key nutrients in its original freshness. So how can you choose good fish? A simple but effective rule is to prioritize those labeled wild-caught. These fish are naturally caught rather than farm-raised and typically contain higher levels of omega-3, fewer toxins, and no growth hormones or antibiotics. In addition, always look for clear origin labeling, ideally from countries with strict food and environmental standards, such as the United States, Canada, Japan, or members of the European Union. Fish from these regions tend to be cleaner and more trustworthy. Another tip is to choose small, short-lived fish that are low in the food chain, such as herring, sardines, rainbow trout, or anchovies. These species are much less likely to accumulate mercury or heavy metals, are easy to prepare, and are rich in essential nutrients. If possible, look for fish that carry sustainability certifications, such as the MSC label. This indicates that the fish were harvested in an environmentally responsible way, ensuring both consumer health and marine ecosystem protection. Finally, do not hesitate to ask the seller. You have the right to know what kind of fish you are buying, where it comes from, whether it was previously frozen, and whether it is wild caught. This kind of proactive approach not only helps you choose better fish, but also gives you more control over the nutritional quality of your meals, something especially important as you age and your immune system becomes more vulnerable. With just a little awareness, a few timely questions, and some simple guidelines, you can turn fish selection into a meaningful act, not just for feeding your body, but for protecting your memory, heart, and lifelong independence. Even with good intentions and an understanding of the importance of eating fish, many older adults still make unfortunate mistakes when choosing seafood. This is not due to a lack of care, but rather because today's food market is complex, overwhelming, and filled with options where labels do not always tell the whole truth. One of the most common mistakes is assuming that all types of salmon are equally healthy. This often leads people to buy cheaper farm salmon without realizing that it contains significantly more omega-6 and omega-3, may have antibiotic residues, and is sometimes artificially colored to appear more appealing. The difference between wild and farm salmon is not just about price, but a major gap in nutritional quality and safety. Another mistake is choosing fish solely based on low cost. This is understandable, especially when managing expenses in older age. However, cheaper fish often come from poorly regulated industrial farms that use low-quality feed and pose a higher risk of contamination. Getting a good deal on fish that may harm your liver, nervous system, or memory is a price too high to pay. Instead, choose smaller, affordable, and health-promoting fish like sardines, herring, or rainbow trout. Many people also overlook the importance of reading labels carefully or feel hesitant to ask questions at the counter. This hesitation can prevent you from learning where your fish really comes from. Just asking a few simple questions like, is this wild or farmed? Where was it caught? Or how long has it been frozen? Can help you make far better decisions. Remember, you are buying something that goes into your body, so you have the right to know exactly what it is. Another seemingly harmless mistake is eating the same type of fish over and over again without variety. Even if it is a healthy option, eating one type too frequently can increase the chance of accumulating unwanted substances. Variety is a smart way to balance nutrition and minimize the risk of toxin buildup. One day you can enjoy salmon, then try sardines a few days later, followed by herring or rainbow trout. Each brings its own unique benefits to your brain, heart, bones, and digestion. To avoid these mistakes, you can create a mental, quick checklist whenever you buy fish. Ask yourself, is it wild caught? Is it low in mercury? Is the origin clearly labeled? Is it high in omega-3? Is it a small, short food chain fish? If you can say yes to most of these questions, you are likely making a good choice. As time goes on, choosing food becomes less about taste alone and more about choosing what helps your body stay stronger, your mind sharper, and your life more independent. Avoiding a few small mistakes today can help prevent major health issues in the years ahead. Taking charge of how you choose your fish is one of the simplest yet most powerful steps you can start with at your very next meal. Not everyone enjoys eating fish. Some people can't stand the smell, others are allergic, and some may have had an unpleasant experience with fish in childhood and have avoided it ever since. Others simply don't like the taste or have digestive issues that make it hard to eat oily fish. Whatever the reason, you are not alone, and you don't have to force yourself to eat fish just to stay healthy. The good news is that many of the valuable nutrients found in fish, especially omega-3 fatty acids, can also be obtained from plant-based foods if you know what to look for. While the omega-3 in fish is mostly in the form of DHA and EPA, which are particularly important for brain and heart health, there are still effective ways to access these nutrients through plants or high-quality supplements. One of the most effective alternatives is flaxseed. Small but mighty, flax seeds are rich in ALA, a form of omega-3 that the body can partially convert into DHA. Just 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed each morning added to your oatmeal, smoothie, or porridge can help reduce inflammation and support memory naturally. Chia seeds are another excellent option. With a mild flavor and versatile use, you can mix chia seeds into plant-based milk to make pudding, sprinkle them over yogurt, or add them to salads. Chia seeds not only provide omega-3, but are also high in fiber, calcium, and antioxidants, which benefit bone health and digestion. If you enjoy snacks, walnuts can be an ideal companion. A small handful a day helps support memory, reduce inflammation, and makes for a heart-healthy snack. Keeping a small jar of walnuts on your desk or near your teapot makes it easy to remember to eat them without changing your habits too much. A more powerful and modern solution is algae oil supplements. This is actually the original natural source of omega-3, since fish obtain their omega-3 by eating marine algae. Algae oil delivers direct DHA and EPA, just like fish, but without the fishy smell, without mercury, and suitable for vegetarians. Many older adults report noticeable improvements in alertness, joint pain relief, and sleep quality after just a few weeks of taking high-quality algae oil capsules. I once met a 67-year-old woman who had been mildly allergic to fish since childhood. She believed she had no way to supplement her omega-3 intake. But when she began taking algae oil, adding chia seeds to her breakfast porridge, and snacking on walnuts, she experienced reduced joint pain and felt much clearer and more energized each morning. So if you do not eat fish, do not worry. You can still nourish your brain, protect your heart, and stay healthy through plant-based choices or natural supplements. The question isn't whether or not you eat fish, but whether you choose the path that works best for you. What matters most is making sure your body gets the essential nutrients it needs to live well, live joyfully, and stay independent for years to come. Next, to help you apply everything you've learned, I will share a simple 3-day meal plan designed specifically for older adults to support memory, heart health, and joint strength. Whether you eat fish or not, we've come a long way together. From uncovering little-known truths about mercury in fish, to learning which fish to eat and which to avoid, how to shop smart at the seafood counter, common mistakes to watch out for, and even alternatives for those who can't eat fish. Nutrition information isn't always clear, easy to understand, or simple to apply. But what matters most is that you've cared, you've listened, and you're willing to change. And that is something truly valuable. Let's take a moment to reflect on 3 key takeaways. First, not all fish are good for your health, especially after age 60. Wild salmon, herring, sardines, and rainbow trout are golden choices, rich in omega-3, low in toxins, and beneficial for memory, heart, and joints. On the other hand, fish like farmed tilapia, farmed Atlantic salmon, king mackerel, and swordfish may contain inflammatory compounds or high levels of mercury, which are the last things you want building up in your body at this stage of life. Second, the balance between omega-3 and omega-6 is the key to a healthy body. Too much omega-6 from farmed fish, industrial oils, and processed foods is silently causing inflammation, weakening the body, and accelerating aging. But the good news is, you can turn this around simply by choosing the right types of fish or plant-based alternatives. And finally, third, small daily changes lead to big long-term health results. You don't need to do everything at once. Just swap out 1 meal a week, try a new kind of fish, add a spoonful of chia seeds to your breakfast. Ask your fishmonger about the origin of what you're buying, or take a closer look at the food labels. These small actions, repeated over time, are how you take control of your health. Gently, sustainably, and without pressure. Remember, good health doesn't come from a single doctor's visit. It comes from the choices you repeat day after day. And it is never too late to choose again, because your body always has the ability to heal if you give it the chance. If you found this helpful, don't hesitate to share it with family and friends, or save it to revisit later. And if you'd like to keep receiving simple, trustworthy tips for living well, staying sharp, and enjoying life after 60, subscribe to the channel. This space is for you, someone who is choosing to live intentionally and love yourself a little more each day. Wishing you delicious meals, restful sleep, and bright years ahead. You deserve a strong body, a clear mind, and all the good things that come from the smart choices you start making today.